So, switching gears to actually jump back into the past.
Now that we've told you why not to do it, let's go back in time.
We're going to go do it, but we're going to do it in actually grand detail. Okay, so Dave, I did... Hypocrites.
That's not the most us thing. I don't know what on earth possibly is.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I only wanted to watch the match, but then when I was watching the match, I'm kind of like, oh, I kind of want to watch the whole show.
That's what I ended up doing.
So we might put a pin in it and watch the whole show next week, because it is a good show.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
We're about to talk about it, so I'll hold off.
Can I be transparent for a second?
Yeah, just like drift back a little, and then your green screen won't work.
Hey, Dave, this isn't a green screen. This is my video store. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Get out
right.
your band.
Actually, could you grab me one of those? You're not allowed to pick things after this week. Can you give me one of those Hershey's cookies and cream bars behind you? That's my favorite candy bar.
Your money's no good here.
Oh, it's free. Oh, well, if you could just hand it to me, that'd be great. By the way, if you want to give it to Brian and have him messenger it to my house, that'd be fantastic. And literally, if you guys do find his Twitter, don't contact him, but let me know. I will reach out personally.
Yeah, no, we will reach out to him, but don't contact him. Seriously,
no,
that's
please don't be a jerk. Fun's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, because we have the platform, it is what it is.
And nobody ever gets. Anyway.
Right. So, okay, to be transparent in a metaphorical sense, I started watching the Royal Rumble 97, right? And I didn't realize, because I had it on in the background, and I was watching it. I'm like, Jesus, there's lots of jobbers here. And I'm like, wait, why is Vince doing commentary? And then I realized it was 97, and I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this makes a lot of sense. WWE 1997 was not good. Like, I was kind of like, oh, we should go back to 1997, and maybe I don't want to do that. 1997 WWE was terrible, and I only remembered it was terrible.
Here's what worries me. You say 97's terrible. We just watched 98, which we're going to get into. And this, for me, I always thought was an iconic Rumble, as we'll get into with Mick Foley.
Yes.
And then I realized that's the only thing that happens in this Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll get to that. But I did start watching 97 Rumble, and I was just thinking, wow, if this is the Rumble, that show must have been terrible. And then you remember what was going on in 97. It was NWO. No wonder they were getting their head smashed in. This show was terrible.
They didn't have anybody.
Yeah, they had nobody. They just random lads show up and they get into the match and then they're gone. And I'm like, what's going on? And I realized, I was like, wait, hold on, I got to jump back. So when I started...
You know what else astonished me? Can we start talking about this person by person? Yeah. Thoughts.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about 97. Now
No. We're jumping back. So we're jumping back to 97. I will be kind of going back and forward from Wikipedia so you guys can kind of follow along.
I only watched 98. Who watched 97?
No, I'm talking about on the screen, Dave. On the screen, people can see Wikipedia of 1998.
Okay.
So I'm talking to
I still haven't figured out where to order wings, people. So this isn't. If you were listening to our show last week and you were wondering, I still haven't figured it out. Everybody's closed. Dave,
ironically, is terrible with technology.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is I don't have a job in IT.
Perish the thought. Says the person who didn't hit the on button for the volume who works in IT for like 5 years. So I know it happens. I hate technology.
I do. I hate technology.
Yeah, technology sucks.
But when I'm looking at houses, and I'm like, but where are those coaxial cords run? Because that's going to be really important.
Anyway, so I'm going to pull up this list here, guys, and you guys can have a look. So the first two entrants were Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie.
I mean, what?
Now, I have to say, this would be the last appearance of Mick Foley in a Royal Rumble. I think. I don't think he's been in a Royal Rumble since.
Well, no, he was Cactus Jack. This was Cactus Jack. We need to get the record straight.
Okay, I know.
This is not Mick Foley. This is Cactus Jack.
But okay, I'm breaking kayfabe for a second.
Okay.
To your knowledge, has Mick Foley been in a Royal Rumble since then? I don't think so. And I'm not sure. I think this was the very last time he was in a Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Is it?
I think he came out.
Did he come back like recently?
When was I recapping? Maybe like 2014. I feel
Was it?
like they did like
Okay.
a legend spot, like the Booker T style.
Right. Okay. Well, this is the last time he was in it, like as an active competitor. He wouldn't be in it in 2000. He wouldn't be in it in 1999 because obviously he wouldn't be in 2001, and he was retired in 2000. So that was it. Um, he like Mick Foley's career kind of he became a main superstar from 1999 and 2000. So he was in the main event. So and then he was retired. So this would be the last time he was in it. But my God, in context and in hindsight, you're like, no wonder he came out 3 times because this would be the last time he'd actually do it. And as you said, nothing really happened in the Royal Rumble 1998, but it
No,
was
you're
Mick
right.
Foley's show.
99 was the I Quit match.
Yeah, and in 2000 was his match with Triple H.
Looking to see.
Oh, so my new chair will come soon, and that noise will stop because it's very annoying.
2004.
2004. Okay, that makes sense. He would come back with that was the year he had the match with Randy Orton. Okay, fair enough.
It was just at the yeah.
Fair enough. Right.
Yeah, it couldn't be found. I don't know. Maybe he was there. Maybe he wasn't. It's hard to tell. It took place. I don't know. It's a Wikipedia.
So, Dave.
Oh, I found the Online World of Wrestling.
Dave, come back to me.
No, I'm here.
Right.
Right. So chainsaws. Yeah. So
okay. So
chairs being come back.
Back into kayfabe. Right.
Right.
So,
okay. So chainsaw. We talking chainsaw.
Chainsaw. Yeah. Chainsaw. Chainsaw. And cheers.
No, come on. I want to talk about the Sparks. It was a really cool spot.
I know.
What do you do for the first two people? What do you want from me? How is this not on topic?
Cactus Jack came out first, and Chainsaw Charlie came out second. They were the first two entrants, and I do appreciate the spots. Now, when I was watching that, was that chainsaw real, or did they just get sparks out, or was because it sounded very loud?
Okay, so you viewers don't know. I used to juggle professionally for a company.
Yeah,
and there are very easy ways to rig chainsaws so that they are very safe. And you have zero risk of hurting yourself. The sparks had to have been pre-planned. I can tell you definitively in the SD version that I was able to see of this, that there was not there wasn't even a chain actually on the chainsaw. Yeah. So in that aspect, that's probably how they gimmicked it. Would be my best bet. If you guys want a modern day example of this, I would direct you to John Moxley and CZW circa 2008 or 9 when he took a Skillsaw, which is like has the long blade like that, and they pretended to like slice into his brain, and it was just rubber. So there's lots of ways to get around that. But there's ways to make them lighter. There's ways to make them really loud, but also incredibly safe, and you're not going to hurt yourself.
I just found out that there's limited edition green Lucky Charms. It turns your milk green.
What are you, me now? What's happening?
No, sorry. I just checked Instagram, and my friend who sent me the Lucky Charms.
You zoned out of my explanation. I was giving you career.
I didn't. I heard your explanation. Sorry. Yeah, I just got
I mentioned juggling. He looks up Lucky Charms.
Hey, man, you don't understand. Okay, they're important.
They're
important. Anyway. No, that's cool. I was honestly, when I was watching the thing, I was like, okay, that's a fake chainsaw. How is the noise? You can obviously gimmick that, but I wasn't aware that's how you do the spark, because it was cool when he hit it. Actually looked like he had hit because of it. So it was a very cool spot, and the fact
you can definitely have it running circular without the actual saw blade attached to it. And I would guess as jugglers would use. Sorry guys, hate to spoil it. It would be very similar. We also lighten the weight quite a bit.
Yeah, you'd have because I was thinking he was throwing it around when he came out, and I'm like, Jesus, if he hits someone, that's someone's arm gone, So
there was a chair though.
There was a chair.
That was thrown and almost went into the crowd.
Yes, that was wild. We'll get to that. I'm like, that would not happen now. Well, it probably would happen now because nobody in the crowd, but that would not happen, when crowds are there, because I was just like, what are you doing?
But what about Brock Lesnar tearing the do you remember that when he tore the door off the car and just chucked it in 100 yards?
Yeah, and WWE got sued for that. So
WrestleMania I was at, I think somebody died from the pyro or got severely injured, and they got a a lawsuit that they won
Wow.
from WWE. Like
Wow.
some of the pyro fell down, like the line at the top of the stadium.
Right. So let's. I remember that. That was crazy. So the next part of this match, right? Just to be clear, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie have a hardcore match. And by hardcore match, I mean they beat each other's brains in with chairs, like fully unprotected chair shots. And they do a contest. So Chainsaw takes 2 or 3 of them, and then Cactus is like, here's a chair. Now bash my brains in, which he does, and you're like, oh my god, what is this? What are you doing? Like,
so this is what I love. So that is a very typical deathmatch spot. Very typical, where you will just exchange blows, and it's basically who's the tougher man. A lot of times that they do it now, they do it with chairs, but they actually are more often to actually take 2 chairs, bring them into the middle of the ring, set them up, sit on them, and just take turns punching each other in the face.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's a very, very typical spot. So it's cool to see the allusions back to what these guys were doing in Japan in the early 90s.
No, it was really cool when they stopped for a moment when your man Tony Brandy, who I didn't even know, I forgot he was there. He's just some random jobber.
I've already forgotten this person.
Yeah, so he's like the jobber or something. I don't know. Dave probably.
I'm sure he's doing great.
But yeah, he comes in and the 2 lads beat him up and throw him out, and then they go back to just smashing each other's faces in with chairs, and you're like, okay. So I love this.
Oh, thank God he's still alive.
Yeah, I honestly thought this was going to be my awesome moment. Like, he's not doing great, Dave. Anyway.
Okay, so you got kind of, this is 98, so like Cactus Jack is he's basically main event. Then you got Chainsaw Charlie, who
isn't
at all, but with Foley it kind of works. I hate that stocking. Poor Terry Funk. Yeah. Tom Brandy. I mean, what?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden The Rock comes out. What?
The Rock comes out. Yeah. Yeah. And this is like
no reaction.
No reaction. You know how I knew something was wrong when I was watching the Rumble from 1997? Austin came out. No reaction. 0. Nothing. Silence.
Tells me like something's not right.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. This isn't right. So anyway, same thing. But remember, The Rock was still. Well, he was a heel for all of it, but he was
referring to as Maivia.
Yes, but here's the important thing about 1998. He was in the Nation Domination. He hadn't gone to the corporate team yet. We're actually going to cover 1998, I think, in our next run. I think that's what I want to do next. I want to cover all of 1998 because it is very interesting. But you haven't seen the development of The Rock is only beginning now. He's still lower mid card. He's not even with Triple H yet. He's Nation of Domination. They're feuding with DX. It's much more of it's more. There's a lot for The Rock to go. But The Rock looked great here. He didn't really look like The Rock. He looked way more. I don't know.
Was it the hair? Was it the hair?
That was it. It was the hair. The hair looked really off-putting. I don't know why. But I don't know.
What is with the ordering on this page? Draw, order, eliminate. What is this? What is this column? Wikipedia, who, despite bashing the person in the last one, yes, we use Wikipedia.
So,
whatever.
So
I'm draw a source there. What do I care?
So draw is the number that they came out. Entrant is the entrant. Order is
when they got eliminated.
I actually don't know what order refers to. Elimination.
I think it's got to be when you got eliminated because Brandy was first.
Oh yes, Cactus Jack was the second person eliminated. That's true.
Okay.
Eliminated by, and then time, and then eliminations. Right. So, after that, The Rock came out, and then
do a lot of show prep, by the way, if you guys aren't aware.
So here's the thing: the chair spot, was that when The Rock was coming out, or was that when Mosh was coming out? Did he throw the chair? He did throw the chair at The Rock, didn't he? I think so.
Yes, but wait. Charlie had who threw the Charlie had to be the one to throw the chair.
Yeah,
then.
Charlie threw the chair.
For some reason I thought it was Cactus Jack, but it had to be Charlie.
Yeah. So The Rock came in and they kind
Let
of
me just describe it with a couple spots and I'll put it up on a big entertainment website and we'll make more money than we will here on the podcast.
Well, if you want to give us money, guys, you can. Just tip us there at nerdtoknowmedia, Ko-fi.com, or you can just do a PayPal donation as well. That'd be great. Or you can, yeah, it's all
Way to
good,
turn
man.
my saltiness into a plug.
Hey, man, this is what you get after doing this for many years. Just give us money.
This is what you get after
This,
3 hours of us recording. This
this
is why Joe
store,
Rogan's podcasts fall apart with his guests.
you see
Because
this
people are just
store
like,
right
what
here?
am I still doing here?
This store doesn't make money because nobody buys videos. So we need
Oh.
your support.
I'll
This candy
put,
right here, this candy here, Dave's money's no good, so you can't even sell them that.
I know, but I would gladly put an Irish equivalent of a quarter into that gumball machine for you.
Oh, for sure. Well,
What is the
maybe that'd be
equivalent?
okay.
You're welcome, people in Ireland who hate me right now.
Well, see, we don't have 25 cents. We have 20 cents, we have 10 cents, we have 5 cents, and we have 50 cents. So I suppose probably 50 cents.
Well, we have 50 Cent too, but he's a rapper.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he get shot 9 times?
Well, that wouldn't be very numerologically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that sentence was either, people.
Anyway, okay. So getting back to it.
Hey.
So.
Nobody's open.
Mosh came in. Then Phineas E. Godwin. Now, Dave, do you know who Phineas E. Godwin was?
I do not know. Well, I do know. I've seen the pig referenced. I know the name.
He's one of your favorite wrestlers.
Oh, I do like chefs, though.
He's Midian. He would become Midian.
Oh, right. Undertaker's retirement. Yeah. He came out as the Godwin brothers. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And then we had
around Mosh and Godwin and 8-Ball and Bradshaw, which we're all going to get to. I went, why, Dara? Why? Just why?
Yeah, this was the drag. This was the dregs. It was pretty poor. It really was. It shows you that they were getting better, but their undercard was still very, very draggy. It wasn't as bad as 97, which, oh my God, it was just all that all the time.
That's a great reference point, because this is very much a transition period for WWE.
You can see it.
It is fascinating to see, they were giving people chances.
Yeah, they were. They really were. Yeah, for good or bad. For good or bad. Yeah. All right. So after that, we had Owen Hart. Now, when Owen Hart came out, he was attacked by Jeff Jarrett. NWA Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett with your man. What's his face? Go with the bat.
I mean, do you want me to quit the show?
Oh, right Cornette. Yes, it was Cornette. That was it.
I'll just leave.
It was the bit, honestly. But yeah, man, I didn't like this as a kid. I don't like it now. I used to. I hate when he comes out, and he comes out a lot at this period for some reason. But yeah, this would set up a spot later on in the night. But Owen Hart is out of action for a little while, and then we go straight to the next one, which was Steve Blackman, who had different.
I know
music.
You tell me not to do this, Dara.
Are you going to be sad about Owen Hart?
You tell me not to do it. No,
don't be sad about Hart.
No, I got my emotions in check. It's not that.
Okay.
It's this instance of where he's supposed to enter a Rumble and then gets cheap shotted and then doesn't get to enter. Mind you, these were my thoughts before the end of the match, when he would, kind of redeem himself.
Yeah.
The company had just screwed over his brother 3 months before this match. Now, if we're putting context here, we're talking November 97 to January 98. That is the length of time. So to do that to Owen Hart when he came out, it was like, are they trying to be edgy, play upon the whole screwing thing? And then also in the back of my head, I also have, and a year later, So this just, for me, this was this awkward sandwich of please end. Just keep going.
Yep. Yeah, fair. Okay.
But I am very surprised every time I see Owen in 98. Especially this close to Survivor Series 97. What?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. How do you stay with a company that I don't know? I mean,
so
I wish Martha all the best, because I love Mom and Pop Kent, but I wish that Martha would at least give us some more details about certain things, because I would really love to know if Owen had a decent contract offer from WCW. Along with Brett, because there's got to be a reason that he stayed in WWE, man. There's got to be a reason. I mean, would you stay with a company if they did that to your family member? And you had an offer that's good for somewhere else? Okay? Well, Dara's
I
going.
know I'm back. I had to, we've been streaming for so long. My battery was going, so I had to, charge my battery.
Okay. So what would you do?
I'm
assuming you heard my question, right?
I would stay.
Really?
I would stay. Yeah. Like I think, I think the Montreal school job was a work, but it's. I don't know. I would stay. I think what they had planned for Owen was big, and what happened kind of undid it. But we don't know.
You have a whole thing going on where like Hart's going to come back and Owen's going to be at the top. And okay,
yeah.
I think the angle before. I like it.
I think the Montreal school job was a work.
Okay, I'd still like to know if Owen had a good
offer
from WCW.
Yeah, so would I. And I think there's more going to it. I think there's more to this than we'll know. Probably forever. We'll know. But look, I probably would have stayed where I was. Owen Hart was a much bigger star in WWE than ever he could have been in WCW.
I agree.
It's just, and we would see some of it as well in 1999. What they kind of had, they were angling towards it. It was kind of all his to take, but it's unfortunate. So look, getting back to this, D'Lo Brown, Kurgan, Mark Mero, and Ken Shamrock and Thrasher come out in very, very, very quick succession. Really, I pop for Ken Shamrock because I love Ken Shamrock, but Thrasher comes out and gets pretty much immediately just battered.
There's always one.
There's always one. But what's funny about this is like Mankind then comes out.
Well, before, can we just address that Blackjack Bradshaw is somehow even worse than every other version of Bradshaw?
Yeah, I was just like, wow, I'm glad you glad you changed from this, But yeah, man. So what did you think?
So were you? And D'Lo Brown, great commentary, like we said, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Steve Blackman, D'Lo Brown, Kurt. Who are we on? Are we on Blackman now?
We're on Mankind.
How are we on Mankind? We didn't even address Mark Mero and his boxing, and Mike Tyson being in the crowd.
Well, okay, go on.
Well, no, I'm curious what we're doing here. You just skipped 10 people ahead.
No, I said in quick succession they came out because there was nothing of note really.
You didn't talk about Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Mike Tyson was in the crowd.
All right, that's all we need. Continue.
I did. I don't know.
Do you know why he was there? Because I don't.
Oh my God, really?
Well, I know the Austin thing eventually, but like on this particular night, like why
he was there because he was the special guest enforcer for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know that, but
that's why January. He was there. Yeah, but
I'm asking if there was a boxing pay-per-view coming up that he was also promoting by being there.
I don't think so. I think he was just there just to be there. But you know what we're going to do?
Shane and clapping. I don't.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. From next week, guys, we're going to start covering 1998 from this pay-per-view on because we need context for this. I only realized watching this Rumble that I remember this, Dave doesn't. So we're going to need context. So yeah, we're starting next week, 1998, the whole pay-per-view.
WWE 101, back to 98, ladies and gentlemen.
Back to 98. Okay, so so Mankind came out.
No. Can we talk about Mark Mero in the box? I thought that was cool.
Okay. Right. What do you want to know about Mark Mero? Because Mark Mero. That's Mark Mero's gimmick.
So it was his gimmick. It wasn't just a play on.
No, it was his gimmick. He was a boxer. That was his gimmick.
Oh. So what happened with his wife? I thought that was like a thing for a while.
So Sable ended up becoming the biggest. Oh my God! Yeah, we are going to have to cover context in this.
I mean, I know she's married to
Brock Lesnar now.
Obviously, okay. I know she sued WWE for stuff.
But here's the thing. Oh, actually, hold on. We're going to go over, guys. We're going to have to take a break here, and when we come back, okay. So we're ending the show here on Phoenix 92.5 FM, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Join us on thewrestlingrewind.com. We will be back after this short break on the stream, and we will be back next week here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. So we see you after this quick break. And we're back, guys. Well, I totally forgot to take a break there.
It's okay, but I was like, I don't know. I saw what you were doing, skipping ahead. I was like, there's no way we're fitting in 20 more people before the end of the 55. Yeah, so let's at least talk about them. So
okay. So context, right? Good. So Mark Mero was supposed to be a huge star in WWE. Spoilers, guys. He wasn't. his wife Sable would become a huge star, which caused the reason for them to actually break up, because they were real life married. It wasn't a shoot. It wasn't a work. It was a shoot. And that's basically what happened. Sable became the biggest star. If you notice, Dave, she actually got the biggest cheers of the whole night. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. And well, no, actually, I thought Sunny got bigger cheers.
Okay, but basically Sable would become as big as Sunny.
Well, it's weird, right?
Bigger, actually. Bigger. I
know that, eventually. Well, yeah, thank you. I was a child during the mid 2000s. I'm aware of Playboy. But Sunny's a weird. Oh,
it wasn't where I was going. But okay, that wasn't where I was going.
Oh, no, the Tory Wolf, that was never happened. You're right. No, we never had to deal with Playboy. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so everything I've seen of Sunny has been in like shoot interviews and that kind of thing. I had no idea she was actually really attractive when she was younger.
Yeah, man.
Like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole Sunny Days thing now means so much more.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
I was like, why would he even care about some not that attractive old lady? And then I'm like, oh, wait. She needs to go back in time.
Yeah, you have to go back in time.
Okay,
so getting back to the list here, do you want to go into an in-depth discussion of Trasher, or can we move on to Mankind?
I mean, are we going to talk about Kurgan at any point?
Okay, what do you want to know about Kurgan? When we do go to 1998 and you see Kurgan randomly disappear and what they do to him, you're going to be like, why do you want to?
I don't know. Wikipedia won't even open it up. Just going back to that plagiarized, supposedly, article.
So Kurgan was brought out to be like a monster, and then they gave up on him and turned him into a joke, basically the Eugene before Eugene. So WWE were dropping the ball for like 20 years. So let's move on. So Mankind comes out, and people are shocked because they're like, oh my God, Mankind's coming out. What's going on? Jerry the King Lawler has a phenomenal line of the night. His commentary is just gas, where he's like, this guy doesn't even know what's going on. Why is he here? This is mad. And what did you think when you first saw Mankind come out?
Okay, so I knew there was a Rumble where this happened because it's iconic in wrestling lore, and I kind of thought it was this one. I knew. Okay, so when you follow wrestling long enough, you pick up on lines that are written for the commentators, and they kind of clue you in on things.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the match, and I wouldn't have caught this at the time. I think it was Ross or Lawler, one of the two, mentioned that Cactus Jack was essentially 3 people tucked into one guy. And I was like, oh, this is the Rumble. This is the Rumble that comes out 3 times. So I was ready. I was expecting it, and I still love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a great moment. It's a great reveal. It's also, you're going to find out why Mick Foley has why he changes his attire. Why Mankind wears the shirt. You don't know that, do you? Why he wears the shirt?
I mean, I don't want to see him without a shirt. I just always assumed that was the reason.
No. Because if you see the gear he's wearing there, it's the boiler room suit that he's wearing. He starts wearing it. Yeah, so you're going to find out why. Okay, yeah, 1998. The Wrestling Rewind is going to 1998. That's what we're doing. That's it.
We were moving forward, guys. Sorry about. We're going to push back on the invasion for a little bit.
We're going to push back for a little while. Yeah, because we had to.
But I never noticed for that nasty scar on his arm.
Oh yeah, man, that's from Japan.
Ooh, I've seen the match.
That's from Japan. Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, it's great if you like C4, but.
Okay, so what I loved is Goldust came out. And,
dude, I was not ready for this.
Yeah. This is
the match more. This outfit was better, but no warning. Yeah, no warning from Dara of, hey, you might like this gold. Oh, what?
Yeah. So this was when Goldust was known as the art.
I loved it. Dara, I honestly loved it.
Formerly known as Goldust.
Oh,
so yeah, he wasn't even known as Goldust at this point. He'd gone off on some mad one, and he would leave the company fairly soon, then come back. Then a couple of people left and come back loads of times. Jeff Jarrett was one, and so was Goldust. He'd jump back and forward as well.
From what I understand, Goldust was one of Vince Russo's favorite characters. He spent a lot of time working with him, and to his credit, Goldust was super over. As ridiculous as his stuff was. The Royal Rumble match, okay. interesting. But dude, that match he had earlier in the night, which we'll talk about next week, I guess, was
Yeah.
I was not ready.
Yeah, you were
also, not. Can we talk about something controversial?
Of course. We're not on the radio at the moment.
Okay. Goldust does face paint, right?
Yeah.
There are times when he's putting on his war paint where he uses a specific color as the entire foundation.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah,
I'm not going to say it because I don't want. And then he accents it with other things.
Right.
I have no problem with it because it's for a character and I get it. And Jeff Hardy could be accused of the same thing. Where in today's society, if we play by those rules, should we be drawing the line?
I don't think it's fair to do that, right? First, because context matters.
I agree with you.
But
I agree.
I would say that all of Goldust you couldn't do today. All of it. Every single piece of that character, no matter where you couldn't do it. Which is why when they brought him back, it was very tame. It was more just him being weird rather than him being...
This was pre-stutter.
Yeah, like, the thing about this, like, the Goldust character was supposed to be like this...
I know, right? We can't say the words we want to say because we want...
Yeah. Like, it's very ipso facto, you know? It's of its time very much. It's like of its time is the way Jarrett King Lawler is of its time, you know? And I do think that Goldust, while he is the best Rhodes for willing to do such a huge change in things, you know, like for better or worse, he'd go to WCW and do Sin and do Black Rain and stuff. The Goldust character initially is, you know, rightly so, grossly offensive in a lot of ways. But it's also
almost offensive in a, but it's...
Yeah, it's a
almost
weird...
offensive in a way, like it's offensive, kind of, but also if you did this today, where people felt, probably because it's wrestling, they go negative, but where people would fall would either be, this is offensive or this is amazing.
This is amazing.
Everybody should be like, so I don't...
Exactly.
It's very serious.
See, it's kind of like the best comparison you could do, and again, it's kind of a rough comparison because the controversy around the guy is Velveteen Dream.
I was about to mention, Velveteen. I was actually thinking more Orlando Jordan.
Well, I see. Orlando Jordan was just ridiculous, right?
Well, you didn't like the lotion?
I don't think anybody liked the lotion, but I do think he did. But I do think it was a cool attempt. I just think it was too early. Orlando Jordan, sorry, not Orlando Jordan.
Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream. It's more nuanced.
Remember, he was going to be the next big star. Oh, how silly of us.
Well, you know, as I said, controversy, right? But the character is very similar to it. Lots of nuances. So whenever I would see a Velveteen Dream thing, I'm like, oh, this is a Goldust from 20 years ago. And I would say, look, you know, we on the Rewind try to watch stuff in context. We call stuff out when you have to, like, you know, the King, you can't help but call him out sometimes because of stuff he says. But again, it's context, right? Context is king. And I'm excited for you to see Goldust matches around this time because they are absolutely wild.
I like Goldust.
I like Goldust too. I think, as I said, Goldust is not just a gimmick that I don't like Cody Rhodes. I think Cody, for example, he was given the opportunity to do similar things and he decided to go back to blandness. You know, I think Cody has the potential to do Goldust stuff because we've seen it with Stardust and with Dashing and stuff like that and Broken Cody Rhodes. They were great. But
right? So like Cody's whole thing is kind of like, I can be my own person and be super over and people will love me, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, if you start a company and you're basically near the head of it, yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, you will be. Sure you will be. But the things that he was doing when he was in WWE, maybe he hated it, maybe thought it was... Oh my goodness! Look, I know he hates it and he thinks it's like the worst thing that ever happened.
Stardust was great,
but I love Stardust. Oh, yeah.
So did I. And I'm not saying that to take the piss. I genuinely think Stardust was phenomenal. Also, Dashing Cody Rhodes was my favorite version of him. But Broken Cody Rhodes with the mask, dude, that was so good.
Cody is a much better character actor
Yeah,
he
then
is.
he is
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's not a straight wrestler. He's a character actor who happens to be a good wrestler. I just, we're not going to turn into a Cody Rhodes thing, but what I do have to say is with the Rhodes family, the very thing that they hate is the very thing that they're best at, and it really sucks that they don't see that as a positive. It's just like when you see Goldust being Goldust at his like peak, you're like, wow, you got this so much. To the point of, yeah, your goal was to piss these people off, and you did it so well. It's so good, but look, it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to get more into this. I need to remind myself that we are trying to take people on this journey, and Dave, you act as the control, so thanks for keeping me on track here.
No, I thought that was actually, I couldn't have said that any better myself. That was really good.
Sure. Okay, so the next one was Jeff Jarrett. So Jeff Jarrett, I forgot he was in this match. Again, he was doing the NWA thing. He was literally in the match for a minute, and then he was gone. So bye, Jeff. It sucks because, it was what it was. The Honky Tonk Man comes out. It was weird because when I was watching this, I hate the stage. I hate this stage. I absolutely hate it. It's my least favorite stage.
Very
my least
small.
favorite setup. It's
Very
but they used it loads. You're going to see it like 6 or 7 times.
I think this was a house show set that they used for pay-per-views that had weird entrances.
But they also used it for Mania. They used it for Royal Rumble the next year. Yeah, they use it for loads of things.
Almost. Well,
I hate it. I really hate it. But anyway,
I tell you, actually, this is legitimate. When this show started, and I saw that was the entrance, I went to look up and see like, oh, is this Madison Square Garden? I didn't realize it because why are they using a tiny entrance like this? But no, San Jose.
It just shows you how much money WDB were actually losing. It shows you how dire straits they were actually in.
Yeah. There's still enough money to send that pyro off behind Taker, though. That was really cool.
Well, yeah, it was cool. But yeah, you can see what they were kind of working with, But yeah, what threw me off was I'm like, why is there someone behind him? What's going on? And Triple H and China walk out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. And they basically beat the hell out of Owen Hart and beat him with a crutch, and then he goes out, and that's the end of Owen Hart in the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so let's timeline this for David's brain.
Yeah.
Triple H is currently dating China?
Yes.
Okay. Started dating Stephanie late 99?
In real life or in storyline?
Kayfabe, bro.
Oh, kayfabe? December 1999.
And then okay. I'm good. When was Test? Test was before that?
That
was the Shane McMahon match that we watched.
Yeah, storyline, that relationship with Test ended officially December 1999.
I just realized that the Wrestling Rewind is more like educate Dave on stuff he missed.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping everyone who listens to this gets.
I want them to be me. I want you to go through,
that's what I'm doing.
Vicariously live through me, fans.
Yeah,
you're the host back again. Welcome back, everybody.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. I don't know what's going on my internet, but yeah, okay.
So, is this the first match ever that had both a father and son as competitors?
I'm not sure.
I mean, not match ever, but Royal Rumble ever.
I think so, but I couldn't be sure.
Were fans aware?
Which now? Sorry.
Ahmed Johnson and The Rock. Wait, what?
Ahmed Johnson was not The Rock's dad.
What are you talking about?
No.
Ahmed Johnson was his dad. Peter Maivia was his grandfather.
Really? We are still alive. Yeah, Ahmed Johnson was not related to The Rock.
Well.
Oh, Dave.
I had this whole thing where he was the first African American to win a singles championship, but then The Rock came, and that's why he got. I'm very confused.
No.
All right, let's Florida. He's Samoan. Excuse me for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. There is a Johnson in this company at some point that I swear is related to Rocky. So allow me to research.
All right. So I'm just going to jump through. I'm going to jump through these, right? before my internet goes again. Mark Henry, who recently debuted. Skull, who I don't know who Skull actually is, so we're skip through him. Kamala
Who was The Rock's
Mufasa.
dad? Forget skipping through this. This is more pressing than anything.
High Chief Peter Maivia.
That was his grandfather.
Rocky Johnson.
I know Rocky Johnson because he's a third generation talent. Was it not Ahmed Johnson?
No, it wasn't Ahmed Johnson.
Well, then who was it? Okay, his mother, adopted daughter of Peter Maivia, that's the grandfather. His father was an Irish poet. Wait, first black tag team champions in WWE along with Tony Atlas. Doesn't give her his name. Guys, tweet me when you watch this show and let me know what The Rock's dad's name is.
Yes, please do. Hashtag
because I've lived my entire life convinced it was Ahmed Johnson.
Next, okay. So, Kamala Mufasa,
I was joking.
Who was the Godfather, came out.
Oh, then, the Godfather was?
Kamala Mufasa, yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin then comes out, who would eventually be the winner, right? Henry Godwin then comes out. So Sylvia Vega would then come out. Farouk, and then Dude Love, who
Rocky
got
Johnson.
Rocky
Johnson, like you said. I thought you meant Rocky as
no.
Well, they look.
So, Dave, what do you think of Dude Love when he came out?
Did I love him?
I'm just gonna jump over, just completely blow past that.
I love seeing Dude Love. I mean, it was expected, right?
Yeah,
kind of.
It was cool.
They kept playing it up on commentary, but it was fun.
It was fun. It was cool.
I don't even know who Skull is.
So, then we had Chains, who I totally forgot was a wrestler. Chains.
Don't know Chains.
Yeah, and Invader was number 30. So, okay.
I thought Vader was an 80s wrestler for some reason.
He was, but he came back in the 90s for a little bit, and then he went off. You wouldn't see him again. So, Dave, what did you think of this? So, eventually, Austin would win in a very weird way. This match ended super quick, super out of nowhere. What did you think of this? Did you think this was a good ending, a good finish to the Royal Rumble, or were you like, I kind of hate this? Because when I was watching it again, I forgot how sudden it was. It literally was like, oh, here's us gone. That's it, done. And it's like, oh, match is over. It was very weird in that sense.
I've realized that the more we do this show, that there's now going to be a running list of people whose family I completely mixed up. So far, we have Dolph Ziggler is apparently not the son of Kurt Hennig, and we have that The Rock is not the son of Ahmed Johnson. So I'm really learning things here on the show.
Even though I told you this.
yeah, I mean, but as far as that ending, it was abrupt and rushed, but the fans needed something to pop for. That may have even been an on-the-spot call of just, come on, guys, do something. Because I don't think there would have been tension and build-up. The Rock, while being, great, was not the great one yet. And I think it was pretty clear. I mean, the whole pay-per-view was Steve Austin. They were a lot more predictable pay-per-view wise back then, I would say. There was even Bret Hart at one point talked about he was on a pre-show for one of the Rumbles, and it's escaping me right now which one it was. Wait, was it? Somebody was on a pre-show and they said, oh, it's really clear, like this person's going to win. And then the producers got mad, like, who told you? And he's like, well, nobody. That's just who I thought like it was leading to. So you knew Austin was going to win.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Okay. Take me back.
Did you want them to win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you got what you wanted.
I did, but take me back in time to 1998.
Move yourself up a bit there, Dave. All the viewers can see is your hat. So sit back.
I'm disappearing as I think. All right, sit back a little bit. Thanks. Yeah, thanks from your comic book shop. So listen.
It's not a comic book shop, Dave. It's a video store. Video store.
So this is what you're banned. So they don't even watch it.
This is why you're banned
for 2 seconds.
This is why you're banned, Dave. This is why you're not. This is why your money's no good.
Well, I can't pick Flubber to review next week. You're gone now, apparently.
I'm gone now, apparently.
You're completely gone. Okay, wait, let me actually answer this question. So, take me back to 98. Who's a surprise entrance in this Rumble?
Mick Foley.
Other than Mick Foley, who would I?
That's it.
Who would have made me pop?
No one. Mick Foley would have made you pop. That's it.
So this wasn't. There was nobody. There was no Edge or AJ Styles or Booker T or those types of reactions in this match.
They didn't do it like that, bro. This wasn't WWE now. This was WWE trying to not shut down.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was no surprise entrances. It was look. The Rock was in there after having a war with Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
It's like they didn't have those resources. The big names weren't big names, and the big names that were big names were in WCW.
Okay, that's fair.
So,
okay, so if I'm rating this, Royal Rumbles is like a C- for me, and that's being gracious.
Yeah, I'd say it's a. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, but the fun went away.
With the pay-per-view, not so much the match.
But we talk about the pay-per-view. The match itself, I had fun with I love the beginning of it. The beginning, it's my favorite beginnings of a Royal Rumble ever. But that's silly, yeah, that's where it kind of begins and it ends. But next week, guys, we are going to talk about the entire pay-per-view. Royal Rumble 1998. So please, if you have comments on it and you want to get a bit ahead, go to YouTube. Just type in thewrestlingrewind.com and take it to YouTube. Leave your comments on this video. We want to hear from it. We want to see what you guys thought. And then we're going to be reviewing the Royal Rumble 2021 as well, because that's obviously happening in and around the same time. So guys, thanks so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. Dave, is there anything you want to plug before we get the heck out of here?
Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses.
For sure. And if you want to tip us, Ko-fi.com, nerdtoknowmedia, or you can use the link in below for a direct PayPal donation. That would be very good. But the best way you can help the show is subscribe, share it with your friends, get it out there, go, hey, there's a radio show that talks about old wrestling, and I think you really like it. And again, this is a podcast controlled by you guys. We do have a plan. Now, me and Dave have a very loose plan, but it is a plan. So we're willing to change it based on your recommendations. But the plan going forward for the rest of our next run is going to be 1998. That's going to be our next run, and then we will get to 2000 in the near future. But I think this will be fun. I think it's going to be more of Dave experience and stuff that he never has before with wrestling. So I'm excited to kind of go back, because 1998 is still... it's a long way away. It's a long way in the past, and it's not as clear as it was. It's not as clear as it once was. So
but also think of it this way: you can learn about the wrestling things that you loosely saw and have referenced for years, but you don't really have a full grasp on them the same way that I get out of this show with the questions I asked Jarrett. I'm willing to ask the questions that most people won't even touch.
For sure.
That's a big plus. Kind of where we thrive.
Yeah. And guys, we'll be back next week again. The best way you can get the content is subscribe to us on YouTube. Go over to the True Penny channel. And of course, we're on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff. And so if you want to send us an email, nerdtoknowmedia@gmail.com. We are going to do a bigger boost on our social media as well. But keep an eye on thewrestlingrewind.com for all those links to more content. And Dave's going to be doing some weekly videos. I'm going to be doing some videos on the channel as well. So it is worth it. Dave obviously won't be going out as a radio spot, but we are going to do more content in that sense. So for Dave, for myself, we will talk to you next week here on The Wrestling Rewind. Bye, guys.
Bye.